On Global News tonight, Nigeria Immigration Service Plateau Command repatriates irregular migrants. Stakeholders deliberate on bill proposing the establishment of a social protection unit. Nigeria's First Lady advocates special care for humanitarian workers on World Humanitarian Day. And on the foreign scene, 7 killed in Kenya helicopter crash. Details in just a moment. Good evening. It's nice having you join us on Global News. My name is Mercy Dala. The Plateau State Command of the Nigeria Immigration Service says it has repatriated 68 irregular migrants from the state in recent months as part of efforts to curb illegal migration and strengthen border security. The Controller of Immigration, Plateau State Command, Mary Abang, disclosed this when she led management of the command on a courtesy visit to the Plateau State Governor at Government House, Rayfield, Jos. Our correspondent has the details.
According to the Controller of Immigration, Plateau State Command, Mary Abang, the command has recorded success in repatriating some irregular migrants whose permits had expired and foreigners who entered the state without proper documentation. She noted that despite being the third immigration command established in Nigeria, the Plateau State Command is yet to have a permanent headquarters. She therefore appealed to the state government to donate a piece of land for the construction of a permanent headquarters for the command, as well as operational vehicles to enhance effective monitoring of immigration activities across the various local government areas of the state.
Even Africans who come here, they don't have any means of livelihood. Some of them are troublemakers. We repatriate them. Those who don't have documents, they are not documented. Some of them are irregular immigrants. Their passport or their stay has expired. Some of them are no longer members of ECOWAS, like Niger, Chad, and Burkina Faso. They have no place here. So most of them, when we get them, you don't have documentation, you don't have your regular visa, you don't have your residency. We weed them off and then we repatriate.
Responding, Governor Caleb Mutfwang, represented by the State Deputy Governor Josephine Pio, assured the Nigeria Immigration Service of the state government's continued collaboration and support in tackling illegal migration and other related challenges.
We will look forward to all these people that are coming into the country without any legal permission. We will expect you to perform, to do your duties, and we also, as a state, will make sure that we also support you fully to perform.
Meanwhile, the Plateau State Governor Caleb Mutfwang, represented by his deputy Josephine Pio, also received the District Governor of Rotary International District 9127, Sekiru Owonikoko, on a courtesy visit at the Government House, Rayfield, Jos.
And all your activities, you are selfless. You reach out to humanity. And honestly, I'm telling you, anyone who reaches out to humanity, who is selfless, gives out to the society, will always be blessed.
The Rotary District Governor, who is in Plateau State as part of his visit to Rotary clubs across the state, appreciated the state government for its continued support and partnership with the organization. In Jos, Dashik Simon.
Stakeholders have called for a clear and coordinated social protection framework that will effectively identify and provide support for vulnerable persons across Plateau State. The stakeholders made the call during a stakeholders engagement and public hearing organized by the House Standing Committee on Women Affairs and Social Development on the bill for a law to provide for the establishment of the Plateau State Social Protection Unit and other matters related 2024. A House of Assembly correspondent witnessed the event at Valada Hotel in Jos.
The proposed legislation seeks to provide a legal framework for social protection interventions across the state, with focus on vulnerable groups including children, girls, older persons, and persons living with disabilities. Chairman of the House Standing Committee on Women Affairs and Social Development and member representing Bokos constituency, Sylvester Walanko, said the bill is a deliberate effort to institutionalize social protection and intervention in Plateau State. He explained that the proposed social protection unit will provide a coordinated and digitized system for identifying vulnerable persons, keeping track of beneficiaries, and ensuring that government interventions reaches the right people transparently.
It seeks to create a dedicated Plateau State Social Protection Unit within the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development that will coordinate, regulate, and monitor all social protection interventions across the state.
The public hearing attracted contributions from various MDAs, civil society organizations, and members of the public who lent their voices regarding the proposed legislation. Among those who expressed support for the bill were representatives of the Social Investment Program, the Plateau State Gender and Equal Opportunities Commission, the Coalition of Civil Society Organizations, the State Disability Commission, and SUBEB, among others. They noted that a legal framework could strengthen coordination, accountability, and transparency in the delivery of social protection programs to vulnerable citizens.
So on the whole, we commend the House for this bill, and we hope that it will make meaningful impact in the lives of the citizens.
We recommend the bill explicitly reference linkage with existing protection structures, such as the State Child Protection Networks or Committee.
However, the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development raised concerns over the proposed legislation, arguing that some of the functions contained in the bill are already being carried out under its existing mandate.
Will amount to institutional duplication in terms of administrative efficiency, cost effectiveness, and the existing statutory mandate of the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development.
Other stakeholders thereafter called for the strengthening of existing structures, stressing the need for effective coordination rather than duplication of responsibilities. In Jos, I am Shamakia.
More ministries, departments, and agencies of government have defended their 2027 budget proposals at the ongoing budget defense holding at the Joseph Gomwok Secretariat in Jos. Our correspondent has the details.
The ministries, departments, and agencies to appear first on the third day of the ongoing budget defense were the Ministry of Information and Communication and the Plateau Radio Television Corporation. The ongoing budget defense is a yearly ritual aimed at aggregating states' budget, evaluating ministries, departments, and agencies' performance, as well as scrutinize their 2027 budget proposals. Permanent Secretary in the State Ministry of Information and Communication, Parubang Jonah, who led directors on the defense, said the ministry has implemented over 80% of its 2026 budget, adding that the ministry is projecting an improved revenue generation in 2027.
Gone over 80% of the revenue that we are supposed to generate. And going forward, we are projecting almost 150% over what we generated. This we have generated, and we are very sure that we'll be able to hit the target if we continue doing what we are doing.
General Manager of Plateau Radio Television Corporation, Rita Kachalompam, who led her management team to defend the budget, attributed the success story of the corporation to the support of Governor Caleb Mutfwang.
Performed relatively well, and we're hoping that for 2027 we will do better. We're looking forward to more employment for the staff. We're looking forward to more renovation. We're looking forward to more technological advancement for the corporation.
She assured that the corporation under her watch is being repositioned to better serve the people of the state and beyond. Permanent Secretary in the State Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, Yohana Mangtu, tasked MDs to make a sizable budget proposals, stressing that it is not about presenting bogus figures, but implementation is what matters. Both the Ministry of Information and Communication and the Plateau Radio Television Corporation were rated high in terms of budget performance for the 2026 fiscal year. I am Gokop Timothy.
First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has called for greater protection for humanitarian workers and stronger global solidarity to effectively respond to conflicts, disasters, and other emergencies. Mrs. Tinubu, in her message commemorating the 2026 World Humanitarian Day on Wednesday, also stressed the need to empower local communities to take the lead in developing sustainable responses to humanitarian crises. This year's World Humanitarian Day, marked annually on August 19th, has the theme Strengthening Global Solidarity and Empowering Local Communities. The First Lady paid tribute to humanitarian workers across the world for their sacrifices and commitment to providing assistance to vulnerable people, particularly those affected by conflicts and disasters. Mrs. Tinubu said the theme of this year's commemoration underscores the importance of ensuring the safety of aid workers while building stronger international cooperation and enhancing the capacity of communities to respond to emergencies. According to her, sustainable humanitarian interventions require not only global support but also the active involvement and empowerment of communities directly affected by crisis. She urged governments, organizations, communities, and individuals to continue to demonstrate compassion towards people facing humanitarian emergencies and uphold the dignity of every human life. The Plateau State Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Mohammed Yalun, says time has come to move beyond talking about potentials to converting them into value and wealth. Nyalun stated this during a one-day workshop with micro, small, and medium enterprises held at the Sarau Center, GF Jos. Our correspondent has the details.
With the theme, Leveraging the African Continental Free Trade Area for Growth and Export Competitiveness in Plateau State, the Plateau State Ministry of Commerce and Industry, in conjunction with Metumbi Interbiz Limited, has urged micro, small, and medium enterprises to embrace quality and value addition in order to position locally made products for the African market. Speaking at the workshop, the Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Mohammed Yalun, said Plateau State is blessed with fertile agricultural land, a favorable climate, as well as hard-working people. He urged entrepreneurs to become export-ready by improving product quality, labeling, and compliance with required standards.
We must deliberately create opportunities for women entrepreneurs, youth-owned businesses, farmers cooperative, agro-processing, and export-oriented SMEs. At the same time, our entrepreneurs must begin to think beyond Plateau.
Representatives of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Julio Muke, Kenneth Shawo of the Standard Organization of Nigeria, and a consultant of Metumbi Interbiz Limited, Solomon Balancing, guided participants on how to prepare their businesses for export, highlighting the requirements for accessing the African market and meeting quality standards.
Over time, we are increasing in the export of products from Nigeria. And for Plateau here, we have a lot of potential products for exports.
So what we have done as an organization is to reduce charges for SMEs. If you are producing and you are in cottage category, you can assess our standards at a half rate of our charges.
At the end of this training, we expect that each participant should be able to register his product with NAFTA, SOM, and other relevant agencies so that we can start exporting our products.
A participant at the workshop, Usman Enyakala, shared how beneficial the workshop is to him. The commissioner further assured that the Ministry of Commerce and Industry would continue to strengthen the business environment and collaborate with the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Standard Organization of Nigeria, National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, and other relevant agencies to guide entrepreneurs on accessing the African market. In Jos, I am Deborah Jones.
Still hired on Global News, correspondent examines aftermath of recent floods in parts of Jos. Stay with us. If you're just joining us, you're watching Global News coming to you live from our Rayfield studio. The Nigerian Institute of Transport Technology, Zaria, Kaduna State, is to establish a learning and compressed natural gas conversion center in Plateau State. Already, the state government has handed over keys of a befitting facility to fast-track the takeoff of the center. Our correspondent takes it from here.
The facility is presented to the Nigerian Institute of Transport Technology, Zaria, for the temporary takeoff of the training and compressed natural gas conversion center by the Plateau State government. It's made up of a mechanical workshop, 5 classrooms, residential quarters, and a parcel of land at Government Science and Technical College, Bukur Joseph local government area. Handing over the keys at the Joseph Komok Secretariat in Jos, State Commissioner of Transport Yang Jatau said the gesture demonstrates the commitment of the Time-Is-None administration in supporting skills development, modern transportation, and transition towards a cleaner and more affordable transport sector.
The provision of the workshop will support CNG conversion and practical training for students in that academic environment, while the 5 classrooms will provide a conducive environment for learning and capacity building. The residential accommodation will further enhance the welfare of personnel and learners associated with the center.
He appreciated Governor Caleb Mutfong for approving the renovation of the facility. Receiving the keys on behalf of the Director General of the Institute, the Registrar, Maina Tarfa, lauded the state government for its proactiveness in ensuring the immediate establishment of the center in the state.
We've written letters to several governors to provide us just a space, but you've done more than what is necessary. Not only providing us a space, you provided us classrooms, you provided us an automobile center for the mechanical workshop.
Earlier, the ministry's permanent secretary, Jumai Shekarau, said the event represents a significant investment in technical capacity, innovation, human capital development, and the future of the transportation system in the state. The team from the Nigerian Institute of Transport Technology, Zaria, earlier inspected the designated structures at Government Science and Technical College, Bukur. I am Gokop Timothy.
Bridging the gap in access to free HIV tests is functional government health facilities, as well as providing quality and affordable drugs, are key to addressing health deficits among citizens. Our correspondent interfaced with key stakeholders to advocate free HIV tests for citizens alongside mother-to-child transmission of HIV initiative.
HIV testing provides an opportunity for people to know their status early, access treatment where necessary, and take informed decisions about their health. Research indicates that pregnant women get free HIV tests and counseling services in government health facilities, while other citizens pay for such services. Peter Ezekiel, Program Officer for Global Fund, IHVN AIDS, Tuberculosis and Malaria Integrated Community-Led Monitoring Project in Plateau State, said they visited key health agencies to advocate addressing issues affecting health care in the state.
All the issues cut across the area of inadequate consumables at the health facilities, lack of HIV test kits for general populations, and also some of the facilities needed attention because of inadequate space and dilapidated structure, as well as lack of electricity.
Ezekiel stated that the network is working in Jos South, Jos North, and Mangu local government areas to ensure functional government health facilities go beyond having building and equipment, but government and other stakeholders provide services that are available, affordable, acceptable, and responsive to the health needs of people. Director General, Plateau State Drug and Medical Commodity Management Agency, Kim Bott, said government has consistently provided drugs and consumables to health facilities that request for them.
One of the critical things that wasn't looked at is the harmony. And when programs came, how to then harmonize the supply chain of programs along with those of government between them.
State AIDS STIS Control Program Officer Agans Jidauna emphasized that procurement of drugs and commodities have been centralized. A visit to Kwatazawan in Jos South local government area revealed that the community leader of the area donated his personal property to serve as primary healthcare center. The facility lacks basic amenities such as electricity and water, while open defecation is visible in the environment. Director of Primary Health Care, Jos South Local Government Health Authority, Veronica Parbon, appeals to well-meaning individuals in the community to donate for the upgrade of health facilities in the area. Making government health facilities truly functional and ensuring that medicines remain available and affordable could go a long way in closing existing health gaps in Plateau State. In Jos, Zainab Babaji.
Indiscriminate dumping of refuse in gutters and a poor construction of drainage system have been identified as major causes of flooding being experienced in some parts of Jos. In this special report, our correspondent looks at the aftermath of the flood in Raholdangong and Lodung communities of Angudi and what must be done to prevent further reoccurrence. The report.
A visit to one of the affected communities, Dalgom residents were seen bringing out soaked mattresses, ruined clothing, books, academic certificates out of their homes to dry under the sun. Grace James, Hola Gabriel, Victor Ndu, and Dung Musa narrate their experiences.
Even though I didn't report to the shop, but when I came back, I noticed that the flood, and even from the report of people, that the flood came up all the way to the road, even all the way to that place. If you can see, even the walls, they are not yet dried up.
We have never experienced this kind of issue like this in Anguldi Vom Junction roundabout. So really what happened, the rain started around between 4 to 5. So it was a heavy rain. And the rain, there's no wind. It was just a heavy rain, normal rain.
Mun je kasuwa kafin nan mu dawo mun gan kayan ruwa yayi barna. Ya rurusar da su bangon ɗakuna. Ruwa kuma ya damage mana su kayan mu.
From what we can see today, you can see our individual efforts, like filling the place with sand to make sure that the place is put in order. Even before we expect any external intervention, there are some things that we can do for ourselves.
The people spoke to all attributes the cause of the flood to blocked drainages. They called on governments, private sanitation agencies to work together to prevent further flooding in the area. Speaking on behalf of Lodung community also affected by the flood, the ward head Anthony Rapp, Robert Choji and Martin Gang expressed sadness on how the narrow drainages constructed during road expansion usually overflow its bonds, causing water during heavy downpour to flood the area.
The issue of this flood has been on for, I think, before we were born. When development of road expansion came, they now, from the upper side of the community, they now directed the waterways towards this direction.
The drainage has been channeled to a particular place, which is actually the Vom Junction, because water will flow from the fire service, from the NDA, from other parts. As long as we have you see this here, all the water will flow through this channel, and that's why it has been great flow.
Since 2017 up to today, we're on the same issue.
Noting their concerns, the Permanent Secretary, Plateau State Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Mineral Development, Michael Dogu, disclosed that plans are on the way to establish a waste recycling plant in the state that will help in processing the city waste, clean up environments, and create jobs for unemployed youths.
We are aware that people are saying the drainages cannot, the float that is coming, the water is more and the drainages are not wide enough. We are passing the same message across to the relevant authority so that they will look at it, and government will definitely do something about it. Environment. If we rely on government alone, government cannot do everything. Government cannot be everywhere. But we, must, what I want to even advise now is we must have attitudinal change.
Dogo called for collaboration between government, private agencies, and communities to work together in keeping the environment clean to avert any man-made disaster. In Jos, Rifkat Yaku.
General Manager of the Plateau Radio Television Corporation, Rita Kocholompam, has led management to the residence of a retired staff, the late Daniel David Daliop, to condole the family over the loss. Our correspondent has details.
It was not a coincidence but a divine arrangement when management of the Plateau Radio Television Corporation arrived at the residence of the late Daniel David Dalio as they met a number of retired staff on ground who have also come to identify with the family of a fellow retiree. Condoling the family, General Manager of the Plateau Radio Television Corporation, Rita Kachalompam, said PRTV shared in the loss of Daniel Daliop, stressing that the deceased mentored many and served the organization diligently. She noted that his legacies will be sustained, noting that it is a big loss not only to the family but to the corporation, broadcast industry and state at large.
Especially those in the programs department, who we are today because of people like Ogadani. They say it's not how long you live, but how well. The people you have mentored to pick up and continue from where you stopped. Where he stopped, we picked up. And we will someday will also stop for others to pick up.
PRTVC Director of Programs, Hudungyang, who served under the tutelage of Daniel Daliop, said he was someone who prioritizes professionalism and discipline.
Immediately you say something on air that is not right, the correction is done immediately. So that you don't forget. And when you learn right away, you make your correction and you move ahead. Professionalism was always on 100% priority for him.
A pioneer staff of the corporation, Jerry Achims, and a retired director, Sunday Gay, also eulogized the exemplary disposition of the late Daniel David Daliop. Responding, Martins Daliop said the family is strengthened by the show of love demonstrated by the PRTV family. I am Goko Timothy.
Moving on to the foreign scene, 6 tourists and a pilot have been killed after a helicopter crash at Mount Ololokwe in central Kenya. The Aircraft Accident Investigation Department said the nationalities of the pilot and passengers were yet to be confirmed. The Kenya Civil Aviation Authority said the accident happened in Samburu County at approximately 0913 local time. It said the helicopter was on a scenic flight from a wildlife conservancy in Losaba to Eweso Niro, a river that flows along several national reserves. An image showed online shows smoke at the crash site on Mount Ololokwe. The Kenya Red Cross says the area is not yet accessible, but drones are being used to assess the scene. The KCAA said the accident involved a Eurocopter EC1330B4 and it was coordinating operations. And that's it on Global News this evening. News update comes up at 10 p.m. Good evening.